Hey everyone, welcome to Kopi Cafe. This is episode 139. You've got Rob Gregg here, Josh Jones, here to bring you more news about what's happening in the world of Cornucopias and the game that we are building on a weekly basis. We've been grinding and grinding and grinding, and wow, our foundation is laid in such a beautiful way. We're excited to share what's happening this week with you guys. We're going to talk about in this episode the land grab, the apartment sale, shoes, nodes, release, and of course, questions and a leak. So before we get into it, Rob, we're always having a relaxed conversation with a drink. What are you drinking today?
Relaxed drink. Yeah, I don't know how this drink's going to go down well. I will see. This drink is called a trip.
A trip. All right.
Look at that.
CBD in, CBD infused. Interesting naming, just because CBD is associated with
Yeah,
THC. They're trying to act like it's
I'm pretty.
got some sort of mind altering substance in it, which it does
Yeah,
not.
well, I can't get a can open. I'm sure. I'm sure I won't get high off it.
I'm sure you won't either. I'm having a spindrift, lime flavored, quite tasty.
However, you having a good day?
Do what?
Are you having a good day?
I am having a good day.
This pen so far has been the highlight of my day. I've got a few more things to highlight.
Play on words there as usual with Rob. It's good to hear. Why is that? Does that have something to come about in this episode? What's happening?
No. I
You
just
just
thought
randomly bring
I'd highlight this to you.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's a good start. Let's go ahead and head into some of our content. We've got a land grab that, as we announced in the CC watch party last week, Matt announced it. I was
What a good watch party is. We don't talk enough about those.
Yeah, that's true. So typically when we do a Kopi Cafe, we have a watch party in our Discord on that Friday, the day of the release. It's not always, but it is for most Kopi Cafes that we release. So for any of you that haven't checked that out, join our Discord and join us in the watch parties. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We
We
just
have
kind of
91 people this week.
Yeah, we'll watch the episode and then we do a little Q&A with the community afterwards, and sometimes we get in and do some gameplay as well. Depends on what's
Which
going
we
on.
did. It's never recorded. It's nice and chilled.
Yeah.
I have a few beers, and this Friday just gone, we actually played through the upcoming build. So people got to see us do hot zones, which
Yeah,
nobody's
that's
seen before. That was an
yeah.
exclusive just for that watch party.
Yeah, that's true. So we also do have sometimes some exclusives. So
Mhm.
anyway, the way to join that is join up in our Discord and get in there with the community, which is also a great place for you to ask questions about the game. The community is very informed, very passionate. We're very welcoming to newcomers. So please jump on into our Discord if you have any questions and join us on the watch party this week.
Mhm.
Well, you, you'll be seeing this and won't be able to join on the watch party, but you can join on the following Kopi
Mhm.
Cafe.
But if you
Um,
are watching this on the watch party, hello everyone.
That's great. And thanks for joining. Okay. So the land grab, that is incredibly close. We are on testing.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're very, very close. The testing is happening. Assuming there's no major issues, um, you guys should be preparing and figuring out where your properties are. Pretty soon, we will be announcing, and I'm not going to define soon, but we're going to be announcing that you guys need to go start claiming and preparing for the land grab by actually going to a claiming page and putting your properties in order. We're not too far from that.
Yeah, I've
So
seen a
for
lot of
right
testing
now,
this
what
week.
you can do to organize is get in there and find your favorites and just favorite them. But you will still have another. That's not the same as claiming. So you will still have another step you'll need to go in and claim.
Yeah.
But at least you'll have the properties that you want and things like that. So yeah,
We're
start
definitely
organizing.
Yeah,
Huh?
we're not putting a date to it, but we're definitely going to try and get this in before GTA 6 is launched.
I would agree with that. Yes. Yes. Thank you. And that was such a great question. Uh, gotta love the sarcasm. Okay. So moving on to the shoes. Um,
Ooh.
I don't know how much we've talked about these, but I think we've talked a little bit about it on Kobe Cafe. Shoes have not started on phase three of the marketplace sale yet, but they are our first apparel item of shoes that we're selling, and I believe they're going to be very much like a collector kind of item, like similar to a bubble jet or something like that. Um, I think people get excited about. I know for me personally, I'm excited about the shoes, and I want a pair of Mythics. I really want to figure out how to get some
A
Mythics.
collectible
So
with utility.
yeah, so for those of you that get Mythics, assuming I don't land one, trying to purchase several pairs of shoes myself, man, I would love to get lucky and get some Mythics.
Shoes or trainers or boots?
Huh? What?
It's a category. Shoes or train. Do you call them trainers in America? You call them sneakers, don't you?
We call them some people call them trainers.
Sneakers.
It's not as often said, but
The
yeah.
ones I've seen are a bit like the like Martin McFly had in Back to the Future. That's the ones that we've actually seen in game as well.
Ah, yes, that's true. What a great freaking movie.
Mm.
So many years ago. Okay. So that's it with the shoes. They're coming soon. If they're not already live, they're definitely coming soon. Very, very, very soon. Um, and then that brings us to the nodes, which I
Oh
think you have
yes,
some stuff you want to talk
some
about.
nodes. Yeah, I asked Greg for an update because I know some of the community have been asking about the
Hmm.
nodes. We put an appeal out, obviously, to for more pool operators, public pool operators, and people. Some people have responded. So let's share the screen. I'll give you the latest numbers. Okay, so this is a nice little internal dashboard that Greg has. So what we're seeing here is that we have 224 pools that were online at this time. Each of them stores 45.9 gigs. That's the size of the game. And 1 terabyte has been downloaded. I think this is a 24-hour. Oh no, in the last 1 hour. A lot of stuff's going on. We've got pools in different regions in the US, in the EU, in the Asian Pacific, and South America. We have mainly successes all over the place. But also, what this is showing, because we have in total we sold or we have internal as well, just over 9,000 pools. So there's 9,027 that I know is registered. You can see that on the calculator page, of which 5,559 are online. So that means that there's 3,468 nodes that are either not online or not delegated. And that's a little bit crazy because those pools obviously doesn't cost anything to delegate, and you're just missing out on free rewards. Now, the way rewards work at the moment is the rewards are split into what we call base rewards and performance rewards. So on the 1st of September, 31st of August, this moved over. So now we are rewarding 25% for performance, and is that right? No, 77. Yes, 75% base, 25% performance. So you're basically getting 75% free rewards just by delegating or running a pool. And then every month that's moving further and further away. So it will eventually land on the majority that goes for performance of those pools. But yeah, at the moment, 3,468 pools not delegated, which is crazy. But let me just show you what you need to do to actually delegate them.
Yeah.
So what do is you just simply log into your account on cornucopias.io. If you have the file nodes, come onto this page here, and this is where all the public pools are hosted. Now to actually have your own public pool, you need 8 file nodes, but you only need 1 if you want to have your own private pool. So it's very simple. Coming down and look through here.
Mm-hmm.
Look for ones where the saturation have availability. So I usually just click on here on availability, and this brings some up. And then you simply just choose the pool that has availability. Have a look at the fees. Have a look at the strength as a guide. It's not the most accurate guide, but I would say what I would do is when I'm choosing a pool, I would choose a pool um, like we've got Corn Pops here, Lord of the Corn, Scruffy, Bobzilla. These are like with everything. Always do your own research. And when you're looking at right, who if I'm going to delegate my pool and I'm going to get rewards, what should I do? So come into our Discord, go into the nodes channel, look at who's active in there, ask questions, look at the availability, and literally do your own research. And people are more than helpful. That they will show you their availability. Maybe somebody will tout their pools. That's fine. You can ask questions. How do the fees work? How do the strengths work? And you've got absolutely nothing to lose. At 75% base rewards, you could literally delegate to anyone, and you won't get almost maximum rewards. So that's what I would recommend there. You've got all these pools here, all waiting for delegates. Come in, join the fun. You're all missing out.
Yeah. Okay, regarding the nodes, I think the main point that we really want to make is with all of those people that haven't delegated their nodes yet, we have operators that are needing support. So please go find a pool and support our pool operators because they need delegators as well, and we need you guys actively participating as well. And we also need more pool operators too, because pretty soon we're moving to a space where we're going to have a lot more demand, and so we need to build up the network and the infrastructure.
We
So
really,
thank you all
really
for
do need
participating.
more pool operators.
Yeah, we do, and that's essential. So we're trying to help out as best we can. But yeah, thank you guys in the Nodes ecosystem for all you're doing. It's going incredibly well. Next up is the release. Are you ready to talk about the release?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is a surprise release. Nobody was told this was coming, really. I don't think. We might have mentioned it, but release 0.3.2. It was really meant to be very quick and easy for us, but it ended up adding quite a bit more value than we thought. So there's the context.
Yep.
We've got the Hot Zone Speedrunner, which is a pretty cool new addition. As we mentioned, we played through that last week in the watch party. So that was, I mean, that's just a fun little game that's going to have future potential as we add more variety to it. And that's iteration one. But it also,
Yep.
what I think is my favorite thing about it is um, it gets you exploring the land in a new way. Like a lot of people are using jetpacks to explore because it's so much fun to fly around, but it's also fun to explore the land on foot because there's new challenges with that. So
Yeah,
it's a lot of
this
fun.
was David's idea, and if you look at let's say Rumble Ball, those OGs, and I mean just people that remember the first version of Rumble Ball, that was an absolute basic game. And now on version 2, it's been updated. You can kick and do stuff, but the first version was just an idea, and that's, I would say, what Hot Zones is. So in principle, you start on one zone, and then you have a race. You get to the other side, and the first one there, or the first team there, they win that race. It's red versus blue. So if we kind of zoom out a little bit on that, is almost like capture the flag. Actually built into that code and other games, we have RP and XP in the future. That's built in under the hood. That's tracking now. You just won't see that. So those foundations are there. Um, and we have quite a few ideas of where hot zones will go. maybe you'll have to carry some loot, maybe you'll be attacked along the way, maybe we'll bring back the guns, so you'll be under more scrutiny as you go across. But yeah, that game, you may look at it and think, wow, this is very, very basic, but it's version 1. So version 2 will be a lot better, and then when we get to version 3, I think it'll be something
Yeah,
special.
yeah, and also, there's potential for incorporating it into the lore. For
Hmm.
example, there's a special uh, delivery of resources being landed on Hot Zone 2 or something for X, Y, and Z. Get there fast to get your supplies, and it's a fun way to add resource to the
Yeah,
game as
I
well.
think it's. I think when you look at most games, well, I say most games, most games of kind of like the MMO open world, that one of the core or one of the standard games is kind of start in one place and go to another place, and that has like a million different formats. This is that. It's kind of like a potentially core loop or core game loop that can be expanded on. You start in one place as a team, you end up somewhere else in kind of like a race, and everything else that happens in between. So yeah, that's that kind of functionality.
Yep. Alrighty. It's fun. We've also got the interaction indicators that are coming up. Do you want to elaborate on that at all?
I haven't seen them yet. I haven't tested. I've seen images, but I've not seen them in game. But I think the idea behind them is we've obviously got a lot of feedback. The game's very early, so people are not kind of sure what to do and where to go to. So it's kind of like a step to that. I think there's some kind of indicators that'll make it a bit more obvious to collect something. But yeah, I should have prepared a little bit more for that. But I literally haven't seen that because that I think
Well, you'll
that was
find,
only just released today.
yeah, it's just, and I haven't experienced it yet either, but there's going to be loot boxes, Nexus terminals, store terminals, automatic credit machines, actionable objects marked clearly for ease of player attention kind of thing. So that's, I think, what we're talking about as interaction indicators, just things making it more clear what you can do in the world and what all's going. It's just it's a better onboarding experience for anyone new that's discovering things throughout the game. I think that's what it's primarily is. Another thing is the weapon, the SK-47. It's is that our first? It's our second IGC. It's another IGC gun
Hmm.
that you can buy. Um, it's an iconic battle rifle, uh, pre-calamity era, refurbished by old world provisions. So
Yeah, I think it's
that's
in terms of you don't have to buy anything. Yeah, that's the first. I mean, we've got the Superverse, which is obviously a free, but you have to mint that. But actually,
mhm.
within games, so you don't have to have any kind of Web3 experience or a wallet. Then yeah, the SK-47 you'll just be able to buy with in-game currency, and that will allow more people then obviously to experience combat.
Yep, yep. Um, the core dynamics jetpacks have been added, and I don't know
Yeah,
much about.
there's two types of jetpacks. There's I think the winged suit one, which we showed as we were running around the apartment. So and we
Mhm.
so those are the all the different jetpacks. What I would say is we're 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 obviously looking at them. Some are in game, some are NFTs. In the future, that their mechanics will change. So if you look at some of them and you think, wait a minute, this one's a little bit more OP than others. We're assessing them all. Um, so that one, I think that one is really slow, or it has limited height that it can get to. But it kind of has, it's almost like a glider kind of thing. And then we have the Alien X, which doesn't have wings. That goes up and that recharges really fast, and it has kind of has more distance. Again, like I say, these are early days, and we will look at balancing them more in the future. But I think those are both in-game currency ones, and again, good additions for those people that don't have a Web3 account and don't have those NFTs.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so I think that wraps up the new
No,
build.
I think you missed the most important part of
Oh, what's
this.
that?
I don't think you mentioned the DLSS.
Oh, yes, I did. We saved the best for last.
Yes.
DLSS.
So DLSS. This is th- this is a huge performance boost. The performance boost in this release is twofold. The first of all, David and the team have gone through every single asset and they've tuned them all up. So we're getting more frames per second. We're using less memory, and really, that is the biggest boost that is coming out of this build. So whether you have a NVIDIA graphics card or not, you will now see a huge, and I mean a huge boost, maybe up to 30-40% um, in performance boost
Hmm.
with how they've tuned the memory usage up there. Now, if you then have a NVIDIA card that's capable of taking DLSS, which I think is the 30 series onwards, maybe the 20 series, but definitely the 40 series and the 50 series. Um, although, yeah, I think it's mainly the 40s and 50s that will have maximum benefit out of this. Um, you'll be able to go into the settings and you'll be able to turn DLSS on, or if it's turned on in the video anyway, it'll take advantage of it, and you will get some of these fake frames as they are what DLSS brings through. The performance gains actually won't be that big uh,
For some.
for some, yeah. For the top end, I don't think they'll be that big because of the performance tuning that has just
Right.
happened. But those on the lower end, even with or without DLSS, you'll probably now be able to get into levels that maybe you weren't capable of playing properly before, or you'll be able to play levels that you were on before at higher settings. So you should have a good play with this. But yeah, DLSS and the performance update is
Yes,
absolutely
thank you for
massive for
mentioning the
this.
performance update because David left that out in his update to us, which is, he just mentioned the DLSS side, but like
Yep.
the performance side, he did a lot of work over the past few months, really hacking the engine in a sense,
Yeah.
to work through a lot of different settings and figuring out what can be removed to increase performance that's not going to have an effect on the look or the feel of or the functionality of the game. And uh, like that is probably the most significant thing.
Mm.
And then DLSS, it's significant for those on lower end NVIDIA cards, right? Or
Yeah.
like
And even higher
so.
range. I'm now getting 120 FPS at 1080p. And we cap it at 120. I'm getting the absolute maximum. And before I was only at 80.
And this is unheard of in
It's
Unreal Engine
huge.
5 games.
Yeah.
So because there's a lot of intentionality that needs to be taken because of the way that Unreal Engine was set up. There's just a lot of intentionality you have to have when game building to make sure that you are performant. And the ones that are conscious of that from the very get go are going to be leading the charge in terms of performance. This is huge for us, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've watched a few interviews with Tim Sweeney. He's kind of been under the cosh because people are saying that a lot of Unreal Engine 5 games are coming out and they're not performing well. And,
Yep.
and he literally says this is not. This is absolutely nothing to do with the engine. What people are doing is they're just throwing things together, or they're getting off the shelf stuff, or even professional studios, and they're building to the highest graphics cards. He said that is not what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to do is build for the lowest end cards possible, and then all the other gains. If you've got a bigger card, they will multiply naturally. But you've got to if your game is performant on say a 2060, it is going to be super performant on the higher ones.
Yeah,
And what
he says that, but I also think, and I agree with that. Like the responsibility is on the game builders, 100%, and strategy. But they could also be doing more. They're the engine, like obviously it's
I
in
think
their
they are.
best interest as a company that is providing infrastructure for games to build. If the masses are having a huge performance problem, that's a problem he needs to solve as well,
But I
making it
I don't
simpler for
necessarily agree with that because when you go back to game developing from day one, even when you've had cartridges or when you've had tape or when you've had discs, In those early days, people knew there was just a tiny amount of memory and disk space, and they built everything performant around it. And then as technology moved on and things got bigger and you got more and more memory, people started forgetting about that kind of stuff. They thought, I don't need to optimize it because the PC will just make up for it because there's more and more memory. And,
I
and
mean,
we're,
I
we're
see that.
back there now. People are now saying the minimum spec for their games is DLSS 4. And when you need to start throwing all this high tech to throw in fake frames and all that stuff as a minimum spec, I think there's something wrong there. I think Tim Sweeney's got it right. You optimize it to begin with, and everything else is just a bonus. But that's what we're
I
doing.
see that point, but I also disagree uh, because if you're a CEO and the majority of people are having performance issues that are building games on your platform,
No, but
your
they're not.
profitability comes from games that are having success. It's a problem he needs to solve one way or the other. If his solution is only pointing people to targeting lower end cards, okay, sure, but the solution is still not implemented well if the entirety of games are having that struggle. Either way, doesn't matter. We don't need to debate on this any longer. The point there is like it's a big problem he needs to solve, and it's also a big problem the game builders need to solve. Like if you're the CEO of a company, you have a massive problem causing you
Yep.
revenue, then yes, you need to deal with it one way or
Yeah,
another.
you need to build better.
Yeah, something. But regardless, we don't have that problem, thankfully, because we've been very intentional about the performance. And that's one of the biggest parts of this announcement, really, because, and I want to emphasize this, and that's why I'm really glad you brought that point up that was left out. The performance optimizations aside from DLSS, that puts us mainstream gamers when they start coming into the game. You and I were on a call recently discussing, or in a conversation, we were discussing the comments on a few other games, and I won't mention the games that have launched on Steam and all sorts, and they had a lot of performance issues,
Yeah,
a lot of performance issues.
that's
So
for
when
this reason.
mainstream gamers, which is primarily Steam, um, or Epic Store, when they go in and check out a game, if there's performance issues, they're brutal about that stuff.
Yep.
This puts us in a phenomenal position as we go into our alpha launch.
Well,
So
I'll tell you why it's more important as well, because on the flip side of that, we're going to have people that download this latest build that don't have NVIDIA cards. They have AMD cards, so they can't benefit from
yeah,
DLSS.
right.
But don't worry, we're also working on FSR at the same time, so that will follow shortly. But because the game is so performant, those those with non NVIDIA cards or the cards that are not supported, they will see huge boosts as well. So that's why I'm saying it's important to build the base in before you
Hmm.
have all the fancy gadgets that mask that your game is actually got inherent
Yeah,
performance issues.
I completely agree. Completely agree. And I think we want to hear your feedback. So, you guys, as you get in and download this new release, let us know like, what are your frames per second? How is everything? How's the experience? How's the performance? We really want to know. Were you able to change your graphical settings? Were you able to put it on ultra? What could you do and couldn't you do? Chime in our community in Discord. We'd like to hear how that's going because we always want to keep a pulse on that. Um,
I think the people are going to be pleased. I mean, everyone's going to be pleased with this, but I think those laptop users, I think they're going to see a really big boost.
Man, I need to try on the old laptop that
Mm.
we got early on for conferences for showing the game.
Yep.
Have you tried on yours by chance
Well, I've got a
with the new?
3080, so yeah, I mean, it performs like a dream on mine.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Um, that's fantastic. Anyway, so the new build, that's the new release. That's a big surprise for everyone, and we hope you enjoy it. Get in there, download it, check it out. Um, and I think that brings us to our questions. Yeah. Um, so, Rob, I think you had a question or two for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to find them. Right, here we go. So this is a lofty question. A big part to this amazing development that we get to witness real time is the community. Is we all love to support NFT mints, watch parties and engagements and socials. From this, we all hope to keep the team moving forward for years to come, which is great. What is the team composition like now? Is there any total team members or numbers by division role that can be shared?
Okay, so that's a great question, and let me think about. So we've got around 25 on the dev and tech team, which covers nodes, marketplace, a good amount. 25. I'm giving you an aggregate. So 25 people total for dev and tech, the game team, which includes the art department and the programming department, and then QA. So
Yep.
for the game side, making sure that we deliver quality and also the tech experience around the launcher, the nodes, all of that, the infrastructure and the marketplace, that's about 25 people. And some are sharing multiple roles. And then on the side of marketing, we've got more. We've also got the QA. Well, no, QA was already mentioned. HR, finance, and things
Legal.
like that. That takes us up to another 15 or so, which puts us at about 40 on the team right now. We've been larger. We're operating incredibly lean right now, and I think this is another important point to make. We're operating lean as the stage of the cycle, is challenging. We're operating lean because that's a wise way to do it when you're a startup, because you want to ensure the sustenance. So we thank you for your support, Lofty, and the community for your support, because we do. This is our means of sustenance, of continuing to develop and grow this experience in this game for everyone. So we need your support on the NFT mints and everything that you guys can participate in. We also try to make it really fun for you, so that it's exciting for everyone, and give it utility, and make it collectible types of things. We like to do fun things like that as well. But I will say that overall, we're moving into a phase of the market where we are going to be able to, number one, we really need to significantly grow the team to really start to execute on a variety of things, because as we launch to alpha, the numbers are going to increase, the problems are going to increase, the flood of people coming in is going to increase. That presents all sorts of new demands, new needs, etc. And we need to be able to position ourselves with the right size team to quickly iterate and grow on things at that time. So we're moving to a place where we are preparing and fundraising now, in preparation for a raise at around the alpha launch time. Shortly after that, where we would go in and talk to several groups. So we've been building relationships with different VC groups, an investment banker that's helping us out, all sorts of stuff there to position ourselves properly for after the alpha launch. When we get a wave of people coming in, we aim to do a significant round around that time. But yeah, until then, it's build, and you guys can participate in the sale if you want to, and you don't have to if you don't want to. It's all your choice, but we do appreciate your support, and we thank you for being a part of what we're doing. I think it's going to make a big difference in the gaming industry overall. What we're taking part in. So okay. Next question is for you, sir.
Oh,
From Coy Bacon of the Knights. When we eventually die, where will we be? Where will we respawn? In place where we died? Apartment? Do we get to set respawn point? Thanks.
when we eventually die, will we respawn? I mean that's a. I think he's talking about the game, so I won't go deep into that. There's many answers to that. No, but it actually
Hopefully none of us need to die soon.
It is. Let me just highlight this. It is a good point.
Here comes the highlighter again.
We are actually working on, and Jim's working on ragdolls at the moment. So I don't think that's an Aerosmith song. But yeah,
Nice when you just put it in my head.
Ragdoll is where you kind of die and you go all floppy. You don't necessarily go all floppy and die. the plan is you might be blown backwards and then do a little bit of a ragdoll. If you've still got some health, you'll live. But eventually, yes, you will probably die in game. Um, we're going to try and kill you every opportunity we can in certain parts of the game. And no doubt you will also go and try and kill other players and other things in the game. So when you die, there'll be multiple places where you will respawn. And actually, here's a bit of a leak. People might know this, but in the new release that's coming up, there is new medical centers that are, I think they will be in Solace, and in Kalido. So, well, there already is one in Kalido. So look out for those buildings. We've seen some leaks of those internally. Maybe marketing have pushed some of those out. So yes, you will die in the nearest medical center, depending which map you're in, um, and you will respawn there. And then I'm pretty sure in the future, when people have apartments and land, you may also respawn in there. So,
Yep.
there'll be many places. We do. It's sad when people die in game, but other people is an opportunity for them because you'll probably leave loot around. And yeah, but if nobody's around when you die, quickly rush back and hopefully you can get your own loot back.
Yeah,
Insight
absolutely.
into dying.
Scavengers running around just looking for who's
Mhm.
going to die, sitting on the back of the battlefield.
Just like real life. Whenever you die, there's always somebody looking for your loot.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, great answer. And I think that brings us to our leak. And this is where we get to say goodbye and thank you for watching Kopi Cafe.
Yep.
If you haven't yet, please subscribe, like, comment. We need your support to keep the channel going and get more people aware of what we're doing, what we're building. So please take a moment to do that and enjoy the leak for this week.